from Wanoa here. It's Sunday today, 12th of February 2017. Just preparing to go north to Kaitaia and to meet the chiefs there and make my way from there, spend a couple of days there and then up to Te Hapu, up north, where the fishtail is. We're going to, looks like, kick the tail into life so that it starts wagging, and then it'll be sailing into the seas. They're here to wake up in Wellington, and the Hapu chiefs will be ready to do business on the sea of Admiralty under King Ernest Augustus V and his son Prince Regent Ernest Augustus. 32 years old, and King Ernest Augustus V is 62 years old, the King of Britain, UK, Hanover, Aotea, New Zealand and Pacific Islands, and the Commonwealth World. New World Order, this way, the 8-point star of St. Patrick's Church Order. Now that we've opened up the Moai Crown Tii Marae Native Court Grand Jury on the grounds of Tii Marae, where the memorials to the land are, that's the native landowners that don't have a title of their own as far as commercial contracts is concerned. They do now have that legitimate legal document instrument to now seize all their lands back into the King's Bench Native Court right there. Okay, so we're going to have a meeting up at Te Hapu, and first up, Best Dressed will be conducting a mock-up Native Court hearing for a first case scenario of a claim of such against the Crown Corporations, New Zealand Government, New South Wales Government, Queen Victoria and Queen Elizabeth II Crown Corporation. She has left, the Queen Elizabeth II has left Westminster Parliament, abandoned ship of Admiralty that we control, and gone into the EU Parliament in Brussels as a direct conflict of interest against our financial investment interests of this country, New Zealand, and a threat to its national security and its commercial operations. With this flag here you see behind me is a contract of private instruments between the chiefs of Aotea, New Zealand, Pacific Islands included, Hapu, and King William III and King William IV and St. Patrick's Church Order, New World Order in Ireland, Belfast, Patrick Down, establishment of borough councils and local government, the sheriff. Okay, the sheriff is going to collect the land rent from all the king's lands conquered throughout the world. The Queen and her administrators will be sacked and replaced by our Moai Crown King's Bench Native Court administrators. We have administrators operating now in commercial trading bank business under the pound note of King William III and his Bank of England creation and his pound note creation, his gold coin creation, and also the 8-point star of St. Patrick's Church Order creation of borough councils and ground rent chiefs, collectors of the rent on the land leases, on the taxes, on the fines and levy debtor bills, invoiced and also for administration costs of running this Moai Crown King's Bench Court. Now these are extended to all the courts, the district courts in New Zealand and Pacific Islands, and all the countries in the Commonwealth, and including 250 countries going straight out from this native court. To the chiefs of Standing Rock, you have the right, legal right, to engage in this native court model that we are first implementing in Te Hapua, the Marae up there in Ngāti Kuri districts, Rohe, and we will fashion the native court jurisdiction of Admiralty, King of the Sea and King of the Land and King of the Royal Revenue inside the King's Bench native courts over the Queen's Bench native courts, the debtors levy invoiced against you. In short, the mock-up native court is an authority and authorised by this Tii Marae British Native Court Grand Jury. Once a year they meet on the 6th of February, and from the 4th, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th and the 6th included is the coming together of the chiefs of the Hapu in the Assembly Congress on the grounds beside the memorials, the native titles and now the British titles of the ship of Admiralty on the Waitangi land blocks on the treaty grounds. That authority was set up in the 15th of April 2016 after the Kororareka Clendon, James Reedy Clendon, Captain, Surrogate King of the ship Fortitude HMS, opened the Okiato Native Court and British government, and we've transferred that on the 6th of February over to Tii Marae Native Court Grand Jury Bench. That was transferred, its title from there, from the Waitangi Marae King's Bench Native Grand Jury Court on the 15th of April 2016. King Itotoa, Chief, transferred the Waitangi ship of Admiralty there of Captain Clendon and James Busby, the title from the 20th of March 1834, Proclamation, the land belongs to the King of England, King William IV at that time. So King William IV gave us this flag as his partnership on an equal part inside the native King's Bench Grand Jury Court. Okay, so those chiefs up at Ngāti Kuri, and you have a new Grand Jury Judge, Bundy Waitai. He has been appointed by me, and I've been appointed by the chiefs that have passed away, and appointed by the surviving chief, King Itotoa, to this position as sheriff and surrogate King William III and King William IV and St. Patrick's Order Church, 8-point star. Surrogate King William III and IV and St. Patrick's Church Order, Island, Belfast, Patrick Down, County Borough, Land Rent Chiefs, creditors. Okay, now you have an idea of how it works. We are collecting the rent on the lands for the lease on our native lands from the Crown Corporations. Queen Elizabeth II is not there anymore, so the throne is bare. There's no Queen or King there. It defaults to the surviving King of Britain, UK, legitimate, King Ernest Augustus V, living in London, and his son living in Hanover. They are the reigning monarchs that we swear our oath of office to, second to the ancestors of the Pauwhenua, Rangatira, Taurangatira on the Tii Marae land blocks. Those chiefs, we set up the native court next to them and opened that court up on the 6th of February 2017, 183 years back to the Okiato Native Court in Kororareka, Russell, Bay of Islands, New Zealand, Northland. So there you go. That is our legacy. That is our legitimacy. That is our ruling authority of the King of England, Britain, UK, Hanover, Aotea, New Zealand and Pacific Islands, and the Commonwealth World, and now 250 countries in the world. New world order under this authority. We have and hold the jurisdiction to enforce the acts of King William III, 1650 period to 1703, inclusive of all those acts as they are law in their original form. We also enact and enforce the acts of Westminster Parliament as well as King William III, King William IV, acts from 1830 to 1837, inclusive of all its original acts inside this Tii Marae King's Bench Native Grand Jury Court. Okay, you got that, Bundy, you got that, the other chiefs there, Manahi, Parapara Mohini, the HJP, he's the presiding judge who makes the ruling for the judges in the rohe or districts of the Hapu in this country, and he converts the native title that has no financial amount of its inheritance, but he converts that native title into Crown King William IV titles to its value. We add value to the native court and the native title inside this court. So he does the legal paperwork as a presiding judge and makes a ruling on it from the grand jury of the Hapus and the chiefs out in the districts of New Zealand, four areas, Te Tai Tagaro, Te Tai Tonga, Te Tai Rāwhiti and Te Tau Hauhuru. The west, Te Tau Hauhuru, the east coast, Te Tai Rāwhiti, Te Tai Hauhuru, west coast, and north Te Tai Tagaro, the four regions inside the Sparrow Council of the 8-Point Star of St. Patrick's Order debt collectors. They bring those district court judges, native court judges, in their maraes, in their district courts, transfer of the authority from the Tii Marae main court or a superior court out into those outlying districts. So the overruling presiding judge goes to Britain, to London, Westminster. In the end, it goes to Plymouth County Court, and the authority goes back to William Yard in Devon Port, where everyone left from Britain, UK, and Europe to go around the world and landed up here in New Zealand. Okay, that's where they left to come here. So now that you've got that, in little sound bites from these videos that I make, I'm just explaining overview of everything, then broken down into smaller sound bites. However, that is the legal authority, the jurisdiction of Admiralty and the King's Bench Native Court, and also the Constitution of 1835 and the Constitution of the 1840 and 1986 and the 1993 Te Ture Whenua Native Land Act does not count. We do not use those acts, we use only the acts in Britain, UK, and adjust accordingly how the Hapu takes theirs. We're going on a grand world scale in through the other native countries, and we're converting all your Te Ture Whenua Native Land Acts, Maori Land Court Acts, Maori Land titles, Lynn's titles, the Crown Corporation's titles in Wellington, New Zealand, New South Wales land titles, Canadian native titles, American native titles, Australian native titles, and African native titles, Indian native titles, East India Company native titles, and all the other titles that are indigenous Papua New Guinea, and they will come under this King's Bench Court native court straight into Plymouth courthouse in Britain, the county courthouse, and the collection agency there with the sheriff. The sheriff will be inducted into each Hapu area and their marae. They will have to go through a training process from me, myself as sheriff, the only sheriff that's authorised to implement these laws from the Tii Marae and Kingi Taurua chief. The grand jury at the moment, the grand jury is Te Porahau, Ruka, and Bundy Waitai, and that's it for now. I have removed Jim Tupi week or two because he has got his own government and his own authority to do what he wants. To you, Jim, I've removed you because you're not performing your duties as a chief, standing with the other chiefs. You've opted out to put somebody else to go as your go-for or your scout. We are not using that system of corporation that you're with. Your lawyers are now liable. You're liable if you touch these documents that we are using. They are only for approved sheriffs and chiefs. If you want to go your own way, you go your own way. I'm just making this known. We're coming down hard with this King's Bench Native Court. It's not that you can float around, Jim, and just pick off what you want. You demanded I give you all the information to your scout up here, your niece. It doesn't work like that, Jim. No, we don't have remote control chiefs. Out. Out. I don't care whether you're a chief or a mischief. You don't do it that way under the King's rule. Okay? And I'm going to, with the Hapu, check every surname to make sure it's true. There's only one way to fix that up, and the whakapapa is a DNA test to see just exactly where you come from. And no one's going to fool Moai, Jim, and you told a story on the video about this flag. I think you got it wrong. It doesn't go like that. This flag is not that interpretation. And any other person that's interpreting this flag, this is a British flag. I'm putting the right British story on it. It is a Navy flag, a British military flag to stop people stealing these lands. And that's what you're going to do with Kim.com will be extradited back to America under this law. I'm making that ruling with these chiefs up north because he is exercising his own law, and you, Jim, exercising your own law of whāngai, a crooked criminal from America. He's got to go back to face his demons. Don't bring those here. Don't bring any of those here, because this is a bench model for all the other indigenous countries in the world being duped by Pahia. You got one right there. I've written enough times to Kim.com, failed to answer me because he's hiding something. We don't hide anything here, Jim. We don't hide anything. We expose, just like Trump exposed everybody. So don't be surprised to get a pound on your head if I see these documents being used. You didn't do all the work, Jim. You didn't do the work. And all those people who think they're going to use these documents, do not use them. They have a patent on them. They're a complete patent copyright. You don't have to go through the UCC and all the other laws, civil laws and all the rest of the laws don't count in this King's Bench Native Court. Take note. To you people, the pound note and the sheriff is coming your way. And they're not going to muck around. Okay, I'm going to ring my friend Jamie. I'll be organising from here on in. Got him to keep moving. There's no rest in this lot. Just find her number. I hope I can get her because I have to keep moving. No rest here. Just hold on a second. I've got to organise everything, otherwise it just wastes time if I travel all the way around and people are disorganised. At Tii Marae and everything was all going a different way, and so they miss out. There's nobody going to get this lot when it gets going, just those who come. The others can carry on going as debtors. You're going to get a pound note on your head because you chose to stay with a government that has no queen. Absolutely no queen, just a picture and a paddle of Admiralty, not a captain or not a king, nothing of that, just a paddle. A paddle and lots of water to paddle in. Oh, where's this number? I had it before. Jamie, hang on, I've got to find it because I've got to ring her up. It's just a nuisance because it cost me a lot to ring everybody, to organise them. They have absolutely no idea. Maori, unfortunately, have no idea about commercial contracts and running business on a grand scale. They're still in the infant stage, still learning how to go and pick things up and under other people's authority. Hang on a minute, just bear with me. I've got to go through all this list. Here he is. Hope she answers. Hello.
Hi, this is John. Leaving a message. At the tone, record your message.
Hello Jamie and John, I just wanted to let you know what's going on. We had success up at Waitangi and I'm just moving on to the next stage of the journey. I just want to let you know, that's all. You see it on Facebook and the videos I'm putting there, what's going on. So Jamie, we're moving. I'm just organising Cook Street and the administration, and I've included you in the administration for Moai Crown in Britain with Jackie, and leaving these ones to run here. So that's all I wanted to say, and a lot of work. I'm working overtime and getting burnt out. Okay, bye. I'll catch you later. I'll try again. That's Jamie. It's disappointing when you know what, when I'm in business, I like the phone ringing on the other end, because you know why? If no one answers, you miss the opportunity that just went past, because everybody else in other countries don't wait around. When you do business and do a contract, you got to be fast. You're going to have to wake these Maoris up that come on board. And for all those who are watching what we're doing, it is a totally different concept altogether, and that's been hidden. The bank's biggest secret is busted open with this Moai Crown Powerhouse Bank. Moai Powerhouse Bank and the pound note. Okay, so we're going to hook up the power, the press shop and Blue Snap gateways on the website maipowerhouse.com, and I've got 4 sites there, and one will be taken over by and rehashed with our executives here, our administrators of that native court for Manahi Parapara Mohini, the presiding judge. So they'll be preparing the invoices and the bills, levidator bills against the Crown Corporation's agents and their businesses as levidators, the whole lot of them, including Maori, as the Queen's Crown, New Zealand and New South Wales government's authority as being subservient to the King's Bench Court. Okay, they don't have authority over what we do or say or explain or display and authorize. So what I'm doing, I'm going up to Te Hapua with Bundy. He's the head of the Native Court Grand Jury, or we'll put a name to it. It's Tii Marae British Native Court Grand Jury. So he's the head of that Grand Jury out in the public. Okay, not on the marae as such, but out in the public. He comes from the Tii Marae on the bench. So we only have 2 judges, 2 Native Court judges now. There was 3, and Kingi Taurua. Kingi Taurua is a judge as well, as the main chief, the last man standing on his feet at Tii Marae, and Waitangi Marae. He's the last man standing on his feet, the oldest. In the tikanga law of Moai Crown, and King William IV and King William III and King Ernest Augustus V, reigning monarch today, 2017, the law is Salic law prevails over the Queen's laws. Salic law prohibits women succeeding to the throne. That's where we are at the moment in Westminster Parliament. So there's no king or queen in there legitimate at the moment operating. She's operating from Brussels and EU Parliament and running that and trying to shut down the Westminster Parliament. We're going to prop it back up with this contract flag, and that there are third parties now. Every other entity under the Queen is a third party to the main party contract between us and the King of Britain, UK, England. Okay, there's no more King of England, there's no more Queen of England. It is now a bloc state, which is a conglomerate of countries together, like Britain, and Brexit is only England and Wales and a bit of Ireland, but Scotland is going out. Northern Ireland went into the EU Parliament, so let's left them out. There's only England, Wales and us. Aotea, New Zealand and Pacific Islands is in now. We have nominated King Ernest Augustus as our king, King Ernest Augustus V as our reigning monarch, oath of office inside the county court house in Plymouth County, and also Devon Port, William Yard, the Naval Yard base, where we set up our main base, military base there for New Zealand in our Rangitukia land block. Okay, so I'll be implementing that with the British Navy, Sir Philip Jones, the King of the Sea, or Lord of the Sea, Rear Admiral, Chief of the Royal British Navy. Okay, so that's our partner, that's our legal partner as the captain of any British ship is, a surrogate king of William III and William IV and Ernest Augustus V, reigning monarch. Okay, so now we are setting up the first of the native court hearings in Te Hapua. I'm going to knock it up out of nothing, and if someone's got a case to do, a land they want to claim back, bring it in and I'll do it. I'll kick it off for you. At the same time I'll be finishing off Cook Street, 77 Cook Street, or 1/61 Cook Street, or 98 Wellesley Street. of those addresses where we're seizing that land with this writ of execution warrant, and its power is equal on terms to the King of Britain, UK, Hanover, and Authorized New Zealand, Pacific Islands. Okay? So that's that part. That's the next part of the stage of the journey in the legal side, with no lawyers. There is no lawyers. We make a ruling with the grand jury in under an hour. The court case is over. Court cases literally take up to a quarter of an hour, 15 minutes to demolish any case, and you're guilty till proven innocent on the spot. A video is sufficient or more powerful than an affidavit of you standing in your flesh and blood in front of the court. So if you've got a video of an event or a court case with information on it that proves beyond a doubt that your information is stronger than someone who's sitting on that land, then that's the court case. We'll finish it in no time. If that person doesn't turn up in court named, then he loses or she loses. Okay? If the Crown Corporation's agents turn up in court, they are demolished straight out from a King's Bench native grand jury. They have the last say. Bundy has the last say as the head of the judges out in the community and district rohe or areas of their authority. Cordoned off. Every district is cordoned off in a state of emergency or a declaration of war cordon of the King's authority to investigate all that area of boundary in their rohe. Okay, it's one title, big one, broken down into smaller titles into smaller titles. So a small title inside a bigger title, inside a bigger title, inside a bigger title, inside the world title. The Moai is the world title, and if anybody can prove they got something better than that, then they have to put it in a video of where their survey marks are. We have our survey marks marked out on the globe with the sun as our reference point. Sun Ra, and the 3 points, East Island, Te Pito, East Cape, North Island, New Zealand, the other point, and Accra, Kingdom of Ghana, the other point. Okay, Mali, and Phoenix Hotel on the beach in Accra, Ghana. So we've marked those 3 land points in a perfect triangle, mirrored image square inside a circle of light. The 3 points mirror image title. You've got to do better than that to have the world title. The Vatican has duped everyone with their title with lines all over the place. Doesn't match up. You have to be 3 points on a dry land, equal and balanced. Okay, so don't bother because there's nothing else they can match it. Anyway, that's the world title, and then the individual country titles. So we'll be conducting that hearing up north, and then I think there's something they want to tell me as well. I've got a call from Manahi Parapara Mohini, the presiding judge, native court judge. He wants me to have a meeting with him and outline these plans, and also the Maori government Prime Minister Sunakora wants to have a meeting with her and her Maori government. I'll tell you the difference between Maori and Moai in a government sense. The Maori government is under the 1835 Declaration of Independence flag, gazetted in Australia, so it comes under the New South Wales and New Zealand sovereign government, and that's a different matter to us. The Moai comes under the 1834 Declaration of War flag jurisdiction, straight to Britain and Westminster and King William III, King William IV, and St. Patrick's Church Order. Okay, that's the difference. One has the first title of a British proclamation that the land belongs to the King, and the other one can't touch that. The 1835 Declaration of Independence was tampered with by the Australian government, New South Wales government, and New Zealand government altered the original British title to the native chiefs. Only those 38 chiefs are legally the commercial landowners that we are forcing the law on. The other side, 1835 and 1840 Treaty Waitangi memorial contracts. So the 1835 Declaration of Independence under the Maori government and the Confederation of Chiefs of the United Tribes and the incorporations under the Te Ture Whenua 1993 Act all come under the 1835 Declaration of Independence flag. They cannot go back into the Kororareka o Kiato native title. They cannot go there because that's British. Different contract. Okay? Do not touch it. Do not even refer to it in legal terms to support your title, because you've got a battle amongst yourselves as levy debtors on the King's Bench Native Court side of the 1834 Declaration of War or State of Emergency flag worldwide. The 1834 flag is worldwide. It is run by British Navy, captains of the ship, the Surrogate Kings, and myself, the Surrogate King, doing the same authority job, but one better. We are the contractor. We are the two-party contract. The Declaration of Independence, 1835, and the Maori government, and the incorporations, and New Zealand government, and New South Wales government, and all the other governments in the world under that Queen Elizabeth and Queen Victoria title are third parties to the two-party states. Okay, you got that? Did you hear what I just said? That's what it is, people. Do not tamper with that information, because each offender is £1 trillion. Note on your head. It simply means we seize everything that you own and deduct it off £1 trillion, and the £1 trillion goes to the Rothschild banks, the Church and State of Britain, UK, Church of England, and Catholic Church, Protestants and Catholics, and it goes to the US federal state government, all the federal state governments that are under the Queen Victoria Trust and the Queen Elizabeth II Crown corporations and Rothschild banks. Okay, they get the bill, and everything connected to the Queen, not the King, to the Queen. Okay, you get a bill of 917 million trillion pound note against each individual. So in New Zealand there's 4.5 or say 5 billion people. We divide that 5 billion people into 1 billion trillion pounds. That's the value of the levy debtor of New Zealand split amongst you. There are only about 15 people who are shareholders in the Moai Crown King William IV Trust. Okay? They're the only ones that started with us in 2008, when we first started with the Lisbon Treaty. It was signed by the Queen and Gordon Brown. That's where all the racket started from, consolidating all the titles into the New World Order. And that New World Order gets this bill. Anyone associated with the New World Order gets the bill. And the United Nations, NATO, IMF, and the Lucifers, Mafias, the Rothschilds royal families, the Queen's royal families, there's 500 royal families. You all get that bill split amongst you as levy debtors. So the best you can do, people, is jump on this side with the King, safe, and you'll be right. You have to completely pull out of it when we get going with Cook Street, seized, and I believe that Jim is going to seize that property that he's living on in Apotiki, and gone ahead without us. He said this, quote, "I don't need Ngāpuhi," and that ended his association with the Tii Marae Native Grand Jury Court. Jim, I'm sorry, we had to let you go because you've gone your own way in your own authority without Ngāpuhi. They're the ones that went to get that flag, Jim, not you. You didn't get it. You don't whakapapa through like that in a commercial world, Jim. You just broke the contract. I'm doing contract law, and you're not a lawyer. You've got lawyers. Those lawyers will go down, Jim. They get a power note on their head for tampering with our information. If you're using this flag, you get your own flag, Jim. You get your own authority. You go and get your own king and your own system. Do not use this system, Jim, because you've been struck off. And I make that point quite clear. You've gone against me. Okay, you're not listening. It takes time to put these together, Jim. You can't just pick it up and go and use it and order me to send everything through your little scout to you. I'm annoyed with you, and so is the other chiefs. Storming off like that and snubbing your nose to Ngāpuhi from Matatua. Shame on Matatua with you at its helm. You've got crooks with you, Jim. Kim.com. Crooked. To you, Kim.com, you better pack your bags and go, because you're going to get arrested. These chiefs don't like people violating their laws. Okay, you're occupying the land here. You're going to get booted off it. And Jim, if you don't watch it, you're the same too. You get the pound note, and that's that. Because there's a title bigger than yours sitting on over the top of you. And you can't use this flag to fly it around to protect you, because no, don't work like that. Don't work like that, Jim. Sorry. Okay, that's all. I'll just try and ring Jamie again. I don't need to try hard to chase people. They should be chasing me, not me chasing them. That's what Marae said. It's going around the wrong way. I shouldn't go to you people. You should come to me. I'll just try one more time. You think a mobile phone would ring and someone pick it up? My stuff, the rule, the number.
Hi, this is John. Give me a message.
The rule I have in this organisation is if your phone doesn't answer, it will never be run anymore. That's how it's going to work. And you start working. I can't afford that because I'll be gone. I won't hang around. I'll just pick somebody else to ring, and they'll be the one I'll be ringing all the time. Okay, I'll just ring Manahi. I don't mind the chiefs. Oh, Kingy, I'm just going to get me a radiator cap for my car at Mangere at the picker part. Are you home? I'll just pop in if you are. I'll just pop around if you are. I'm going to get a radiator cap before I go north for my car from the picker part.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll just pop in for a couple of minutes and fill you in.
I'm over at West Auckland.
Oh, are you? Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. No,
Yeah.
I thought you would be there, so I'm just going to get my car ready to go. I'm going up.
I'm over at West Auckland.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm at my daughter's place, Narimu's place.
Yeah, no, that's right. No worry. No, because I'll just go straight. I'll just go straight up. Yeah. We'll just catch up with you again. We'll catch up with you again.
Okay, mate.
Okay, all good. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
Nicola rang me and said everything is going now with the Maori government. Got the funding, everything.
Is that right?
So she said, give her a ring back.
Yeah, I will, because I talked to her yesterday, the day before yesterday, and she said, I told her that those Taumata Kaumātua wanted her and me up there because they wanted to talk to her and outline everything and to me. But she said, she told me, oh, she's not going to run around. They should have got her when she was up there. She just said it's a whoreha for her to go a long way, to go back up there. But I'll talk to her anyway. But I'm rather curious what Bundy and them doing up at Te Hapu. I think they're gonna whack the tail and make it swim. Okay. Okay. Bye. Bye. Yeah. Bye. That's kingy. Lots of things are happening. I wonder what. I wonder what's happening. But however, that's good. For me, as long as there's a Maori doing something positive, that's got to be a good sign. Okay? The fish tail, I want to go and see this fish tail, whack it in his tail and make him swim. He'll be swimming around the well. And it was going to happen right now. I think the Maoris are waking up and they're fired up. It's good to see the smile on the old people's face. I think they've got a glimmer of hope, especially Herewini Karaka. Herewini Karaka, that's my mate. Long time in Confederation matters. And it was as simple as open up a native court. That's all it was, beside the Popo. That's all they had to do all these 183 years, is open up a native court. Simple. And the fish will swim. I'm talking about Maui. Maui the fish. The head is in Wellington and the tail is up at Te Rerenga Wairua at right up the north of New Zealand. The tip, Cape Reinga. Okay, Te Rerenga Wairua, the spirit of the north, where all the spirits go after they die, they go